Good evening, I'm Ian Hanomansing. Canadian sprinter Andre De Grasse runs his fastest time ever, and he's not done yet.
And work to be done by De Grasse. De Grasse turning it on as they come to the line. It's Jacob for Italy.
Why he thinks there are greater things to come, and the special significance of this medal this year. And a Belarusian athlete says her country's officials are trying to force her home after she criticized her coaches.
The fact that the Belarusian authorities are using their political power to send a message to every athlete in Belarus not to speak up is unacceptable.
Dependent on streaming services, a young man in long-term care is about to lose his connection to the outside world.
Without that service, I think he would give up on life.
His family's fight to keep it. Plus,
Here they come. There's the touch.
sending love and support an ocean away. We chat with families of Olympians competing on the world stage. This is The National. For Andre De Grasse, it has been a long road between Olympic medals in Rio and now Tokyo, made even longer with the pandemic delay. After 5 years, it took him less than 10 seconds to win bronze for Canada in track's marquee event. The Ontario Sprinter recorded his best time ever in the 100 meters and won Canada's first medal in Tokyo by a male athlete. There was a lot riding on De Grasse for this race, given that some of his personal heroes made their mark in this very event. Adrienne was there, and she shows us how he persevered to get this medal and what comes next.
It is maybe a consequence of an empty stadium for the 100-meter men's, the marquee event of the Games, that there's so little sound, any distractions really distract. False starts plaguing the track in Tokyo. When they finally got going, though, those semi-finals were ultimately so fast and so close that Andre De Grasse was the last on the track afterwards, watching the replays, possibly surprised by his competitors. There is always an attempt to build drama before this event, but much of that was already lurking. De Grasse under the pressure of history. 25 years after Canadian Donovan Bailey won 100 meters gold, the neat narrative was that it would be his turn.
They settle into the blocks.
Remember, before you watch him run, that his start is characteristically slower and always picks up.
The gun, and they're away. And Jacobs with a good start along with Curley. And work to be done by De Grasse. De Grasse turning it on as they come to the line. It's Jacobs for Italy.
A bronze medal and a smile he wore with that flag confirming the biggest stage in the world doesn't intimidate him.
You look so incredibly happy right now. Is that what's happening in there?
Yeah, I mean, we waited an extra year for this, so I'm really happy to be here in Tokyo. Be back in my second Olympic final for the 100 meters. And to come away with a medal, I'm really proud of myself. I ran a personal best, and I feel like I got a lot more in the tank, and I'm just going to continue to get better every single year.
This isn't just a successful result, it is a symbolic one. Because it was in 1964, on the footprint of this very stadium, where Canada's Harry Jerome won his bronze medal in the men's 100 meters.
Jerome finit troisième.
To call Harry Jerome an icon almost isn't enough. His advocacy for Black Canadians, for young people, for athletes still resonates. For Andre De Grasse to earn the bronze again certainly has meaning for him.
Oh man, that's incredible. I mean, Harry Jerome is an inspiration to Canada, so hope that I can be, like him one day.
De Grasse was fresh off the track when we spoke, and he hadn't had time to call home.
Hey there, Beverly. It's Adrienne. How are you?
His mom, Beverly, was back in Pickering, Ontario, and that's unnatural for her. She is almost always trackside, bellowing and beaming. This is different.
What was it like for you to watch that? Because we were stressed out here in the stadium.
I was really stressed and really nervous, I mean, I just, feel so bad that I can't be there. I feel really helpless and hopeless. I know he wanted that goal, but I'm just still happy that at least he's on the podium.
So there's a woman who knows her son, who knows that his favorite event, the 200 meters, is still coming up. And for those of you who are counting and doing the math, If Andre De Grasse wins 2 more medals at this Olympics, he will become the most decorated male Canadian Olympian in history. But again, with the Olympics, that the beauty and the beast of it is that you better be careful when you make predictions.
So, Adrienne, I am paying attention to you, I promise, but I couldn't help but notice behind you someone having their picture taken in front of the Olympic rings.
Yeah, that's really why we wanted to be here, Ian. We're outside the stadium where De Grasse ran, but this point is an interesting one. What you can't see is that there's a lineup sort of stretching down the block here. This is one of the only touch points that people of Tokyo have with this Olympics. They can't get inside to the stadium. The cauldron is blocked off, but they can come to the rings to get their pictures taken. We've been here for quite a long time. They've been doing it all morning. They continue to do it through the night. We saw them deep into the night last night, and it just tells you the degree of engagement. There are also little kids standing by the athletes' village waiting to wave at anyone who looks like an athlete and hand them a flower or a note. They desperately want a part of this. Ian?
They should have their picture taken with you. Thanks, Adrienne.
Okay, you bet.
During his final, De Grasse had an extra special fan cheering him on.
Come on, Daddy. Come on, Daddy.
That is his little girl, Yuri, giving encouragement from back home. Later, I'll ask the parents of 2 Olympians how they cope with the frustration of not being where the action is. Today, Canada's swimming sensation, Penny Olesiak, is winning hearts as surely as she's been winning medals. At 21 years old, she is now the most decorated Canadian Olympian of all time. Dale Manukduk with the reaction.
She's set record after record, race after race. Penny Olesiak's 7 Olympic medals represent the highest tally for a single athlete in Canada's history.
It is honestly pretty crazy. I don't think I've been able to really take it all in yet.
Oleksiak has the gold medal! It is a lot to take in. From 4 medals at the 2016 Rio Games to 3 more here in Tokyo. And while her name gets its own line in the record book, she doesn't stand alone. After setting the record, Oleksiak tweeted, "Trust me, at the top, it isn't lonely." A nod to Canadian music icon Drake, but more importantly, her teammates.
Just knowing that all these girls are all here with one goal, and that's to achieve things together.
Brittany McLean knows firsthand what it's like to win with Oleksiak.
I think to have a Canadian athlete achieve success that no one's ever done before and have it be a swimmer is extra special, and to have it be a teammate for me is really surreal.
McLean says what separates Oleksiak is her determination. Her parents remember her at just age 9, competing in a push-up contest full of older kids.
And her hand slipped out and she fell down, she broke a tooth. Well, she picked up the tooth in one hand, then continued doing push-ups and actually won the competition. I mean, it sounds like one of those kind of myth stories.
Oleksiak grew up in East Toronto. People from her high school neighborhood were immensely proud.
Everyone's really excited, all the more so around here, because she went to Monarch Park. My neighbor taught her, so everybody knows about her here.
The women are killing it at the Olympics, and something for her to watch and aspire to. It's fantastic.
Oleksiak broke a 3-way tie with Cindy Clausen and Clara Hughes, each with 6 Olympic medals. She's excited to be an example for future generations.
You just see so many girls supporting girls, which I absolutely adore, and I'm just so happy.
At 21, Oleksiak has already surpassed expectations in a sport where champions peak in later years.
This isn't like a final swan song.
Dale Manukduk, CBC News, Toronto.
Amid all this celebration, there was also a plea for help this Sunday in Tokyo from a Belarusian sprinter who says she was taken to the airport against her wishes to board a flight home. Thomas Dagla is on that story for us. And Thomas, what's behind all of this?
Well, according to Belarusian Olympic officials, Ian, this is all about mental health. And Kristina Tsikhanouskaya had to go home because she was experiencing some sort of crisis. But she says there's much more to it than that. And her supporters say such a decision would have had to come with the approval of none other than the president of Belarus.
Fearing for her safety, Kristina Tsikhanouskaya approached police at this Tokyo airport, saying she'd been booked on a flight against her own wishes, messaging media outlets, "I will not return to Belarus." and she made this plea. I'm asking the International Olympic Committee for help, she said. There's pressure against me. They're trying to get me out of the country without my permission.
The athletes all lined up for this.
A sprinter competing at the Tokyo Olympics, Tsimanouskaya had already run in the 100-meter qualifiers. She says she'd been signed up for a relay race that she hadn't trained for, claiming too few Belarusian athletes had gone through anti-doping tests. So she took to social media to complain about her coaches. Then she was told to pack her bags.
The fact that the Belarusian authorities are using their political power to send a message to every athlete in Belarus not to speak up is unacceptable.
The strongman president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, is already banned from the Tokyo Games, and so is the head of the country's Olympic Committee, who happens to be the president's son. Belarus! Activists say Belarus punishes athletes who protest against the regime and will go to great lengths to intimidate critics. Consider the recent case of a dissident journalist who saw his Ryanair flight diverted to Minsk only to be arrested upon arrival.
The IOC should immediately suspend the Belarus National Olympic Committee and allow every athlete from Belarus to compete as a neutral athlete under the Olympic flag.
CBC News obtained this application filed with the Court of Arbitration for Sport, demanding Tsikhanouskaya be reinstated in the 200 meters. It calls the case pure discrimination of the applicant on political reasons.
And Thomas, what is the IOC saying about all of this?
The IOC says the athlete spent the night in an airport hotel and Tsikhanouskaya is safe, they say, and that the IOC is offering her support. The main thing here, though, Ian, is that she did not get on that plane, and for the time being, she remains in Japan.
And a story, of course, we'll continue to watch, Thomas. Thank you very much. Is an NHL player gambling on his own games and throwing them to win bets? Those are the explosive accusations leveled against San Jose Sharks forward Evander Kane. Kane denies them. Matt Demore has a story about alleged addiction, a very public marital dispute, and a league looking to contain the damage.
And a minute 12 in, it's 1-0.
Evander Kane's performance on the ice now under scrutiny. The wife of the San Jose Sharks forward took to social media this weekend, writing, "How does the NHL let a compulsive gambling addict still play when he's obviously throwing games to win money? And can someone ask Commissioner Gary Bettman how they let a player gamble on his own games?" Sports columnist Pat Hickey says the NHL needs to fully investigate the allegations against Kane.
This is something they have to get right on top of and try to mitigate the damage to the league, get to the facts. If he is guilty, then they have to suspend them, probably maybe even ban him for life.
That's exactly what Major League Baseball did to former player Pete Rose. An investigation in the 1980s found he had placed bets on the Cincinnati Reds to win while playing for and managing the team. On Twitter, Kane called the accusations against him completely false, saying he's never bet on hockey, including his own games. But Kane has run into issues with gambling before. A Las Vegas casino sued him in 2019, alleging he failed to repay a gambling debt totaling $500,000. And more recently, a bankruptcy claim filed by Kane listed a $1.5 million loss because of gambling and sports betting.
Athletes in general are great risk takers. They're very highly competitive people.
Dr. Jeffrey Derevensky is a McGill University psychology professor. He's studied the gambling behavior of elite athletes and says the attributes that make them excel in sports can also be risk factors.
You keep adding up all these little pieces, and what do we find? They're certainly prone or have the potential to be prone to having gambling-related problems.
In a statement posted to Twitter, the NHL says it's planning a full investigation, adding, "The integrity of our game is paramount, and the league takes these allegations very seriously." Matt Damour, CBC News, Montreal.
Canadian Chinese celebrity Chris Wu has been detained by Beijing police on suspicion of committing rape after several young women published accounts online of predatory behavior from the international superstar. Chris Wu is big. Think Justin Bieber big. Since his days as a member of the K-pop powerhouse EXO, Wu, who grew up in Vancouver, has gone from solo act to model and actor.
Keep screwing around. What could possibly go wrong?
That is my style, though.
To a multi-platform marketing behemoth.
So what's also dope about these is if you check out my album cover right here, I'm wearing the same ones.
All of that collapsing in a matter of days amid accusations from dozens of teenage girls with similar stories of being invited to work for him, plied with alcohol, and sexually assaulted. As the scandal grew online, brands cut ties. Now he's in police custody. Wu denies the allegations, but his case is being seen as a Me Too turning point in China, with state media noting his Canadian citizenship won't shield him. Let's turn to COVID now, and a warning from Ontario's Pharmacists Association that thousands of Moderna vaccines could go to waste in a matter of weeks. The group says a slowdown in Ontario's vaccine rollout, along with a public preference for the Pfizer shot, has made it harder to use up Moderna doses. And this follows a separate warning from the Middlesex London Health Unit saying more than 21,000 unallocated doses need to be used by August 12th before expiring. And despite a fast-growing case count, Florida is vowing not to impose restrictions or mask mandates. However, in many hotspot states, the numbers of those getting vaccinated is also climbing, as Magda Gebrselassie shows us.
COVID-19 nearly claimed Denny Thompson's life. The Indiana man spent months fighting the virus in hospital. Out of hospital now, he's been vaccinated and is telling others to do the same.
I just thought it was one of those things that might have been blown out of proportion, and healthy people don't get sick, and I proved that wrong.
COVID cases have recently taken a wrong turn in the U.S. New case counts have doubled in the last couple of weeks. More than 101,000 recorded on Friday, and the Delta variant continues to be the deadly driving force.
People who are getting severely ill are those who are unvaccinated. 99.5% of deaths currently are in unvaccinated individuals.
Florida had the highest count for new cases recorded Friday, with more than 21,000. In most parts of the U.S., the CDC is calling for masks to be worn indoors again, including in schools. But Florida's governor says
there will be no restrictions and no mandates in the state of Florida.
Louisiana's governor is considering a mask mandate as COVID cases and hospitalizations remain high. But the weekly vaccination rate is improving, doubling over the last couple of weeks.
The Delta variant is a game changer. And at this point, it's not whether we vaccinate or mask. We have to do both.
And more financial incentives are popping up to help with that. In Georgia, this man got a shot and $50.
You throw an incentive behind it, and, people will do it.
So far, 58% of people in the U.S. age 12 and up are fully vaccinated. But to slow the spread of the virus, experts say many more people will have to roll up their sleeves. Magda Gebrselassie, CBC News, Washington.
British Columbia's 240 wildfires are not only leaving the province in a haze, they've also released a brew that's creating hazards for those with respiratory problems, with air quality well below international safe levels. Lindsay Duncombe has a look at how people are coping.
As the smoke grows over British Columbia, fear intensifies.
You can actually feel the particulate in your throat. So yeah, we had to cancel just to keep people safe. I'm here at the Castlegar Market downtown.
This market, filmed under blue skies 2 weeks ago, closed today over worries being outside could make people sick.
You can see bits of ash flying. It's very dry. You can feel it in your throat. You can't take a deep breath. So I'm wheezy.
The BC Interior, the Kootenays, and the Okanagan have the worst of the smoke.
It's pretty intense here in Kelowna.
Those famous BC views gone.
There's mountains back behind those trees, and you just can't see them right now because the smoke is so thick.
There are more than 240 wildfires burning in the province right now. The smoke is making them even more difficult to fight. Some planes have been grounded or redeployed because crews can't see.
It does affect our operations, and because our staff are their well-being, their safety is our top priority, we take visibility very seriously.
Some areas of BC had pollution levels close to 50 times higher than what's deemed safe by the World Health Organization. And this map shows just how far the smoke spread, damaging air quality into Western Canada and the U.S.
As we start to see these, what we used to think of as very acute wildfire episodes become more and more common and longer, we have to think about air pollution from these wildfires as being a more chronic exposure.
The health risks, the wildfires, the pandemic, it all takes a toll.
It's an anxiety feeling. It's almost like an impending doom coming down on us. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it's been a long couple of years.
Lindsay Duncombe, CBC News, Vancouver.
For many, pandemic lockdowns made internet connections more important than ever. But for one Ontario man with severe muscular dystrophy, lockdown-like conditions are a fact of life. Online streaming and gaming, a critical window to the outside world. And as Hanomansing explains, the hospital he calls home has taken that away.
Tom Lister has been living at Grand River Hospital's Freeport campus for almost a decade. He was born with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. The 30-year-old relies on a ventilator and has limited mobility, which is why the internet is a real lifeline for him.
Without that, he would have contact with nobody. He would be stuck in bed, lying, staring at a wall. His whole existence is through that screen.
Tom's family says the hospital's internet policy recently changed. The streaming services he loves are now blocked. Tom mainly communicates with family and friends through Facebook Messenger. In a message, he told us, "Movies, shows, gaming, and music are my biggest passions. I can't do any of those on their Wi-Fi."
Without that service, that full service, I'm not sure that I think he would give up on life and eventually pass away.
The family resorted to a mobile internet hub, but it's expensive, about $600 a month. They say it won't be feasible for much longer and want to find a solution with the hospital. In a statement to CBC News, hospital officials say streaming services slowed down our network by using a lot of data, which requires us to restrict some sites like Netflix to ensure the systems we use to support patient care are always available. This advocate for people living with physical disabilities says he's surprised by the hospital's internet policy, especially during the pandemic.
One of the big things now is with providing online programs. So, instead of taking services away, they should maybe be looking at how else can they help people connect to their community.
The hospital says it's working to find a solution, but the family is still waiting. They hope to see change not only for Tom, but for others living at the facility. Hanomansing, CBC News, Kitchener, Ontario.
For the first time ever, Canada is officially marking the anniversary of the abolition of slavery.
The average Canadian, if we were to stop 10 people, we'd be lucky if one of them said, yes, I know slavery happened here.
Coming up, the largely unknown history behind Emancipation Day. Plus,
she's certainly got a chance at a medal. Here they come. There's the touch.
watching your child win a medal is thrilling, but this year, parents are watching from home like the rest of us.
But there's more anxiety, like, will the internet work? Will I see it? Will I catch him?
And the sight of true Olympic spirit.
They're going to share it. They're going to share it. They've decided to share it.
Two athletes share a touching moment and the top prize. We're back after the break.
Love stories from Indigenous voices? Then you'll love what you hear on CBC Listen. From untold history to music discovery, culture and conversation to Inuit storytelling. It's love at first listen with CBC Listen.
When did you last see your father?
You're him, aren't you?
Today is the first official Canadian celebration of Emancipation Day, when slavery was outlawed in the British Empire. That was 187 years ago. And while many of us learn about the Underground Railroad when the country was a haven for escaped slaves from the U.S., Kayla Hounsell shows us Canada's own history of slavery is far less familiar and far less flattering.
The Yarmouth County Museum is home to many artifacts from southwestern Nova Scotia. But Sharon Robart Johnson is most proud of those showcasing Black history.
Over here we have the first Black Nova Scotian to join the RCMP.
Robart Johnson is on the wall herself, recognized as the first to write a book about Black people in the area. She's now released her second, focusing on Jude, a young slave murdered in Nova Scotia in 1800.
The night before she died, she went in the pantry, as she was doing quite often because she was being starved. She and her sister were being starved. And she went in the pantry and she tried to steal a loaf of bread and a piece of cheese.
Court records show she was beaten to death.
Then there was a trial, surprisingly, because usually white slave owners aren't taken to task for what they do to their slaves.
But they were, and then what happened?
They were acquitted. It's as simple as that.
Runaway, Joseph Odell and Peter Lawrence, Negroes, from their masters.
We went to the Nova Scotia archives to learn more about the history of slavery. In 1750, there were about 400 slaves among Halifax's population of 3,000.
In the newspaper collection, you find those advertisements for runaway slaves, occasional ads for selling slaves.
That's why this woman says it's important to mark Emancipation Day.
It's really a moment for us to think about what slavery was and what slavery was in Canada and what then the enslaved people in 1834 would have been celebrating their freedom from.
She founded the new Institute for the Study of Canadian Slavery and hopes to help educate all Canadians.
The average American you speak to absolutely understands that they have a deep multi-century history of slavery. The average Canadian, if we were to stop 10 people walking down Duke Street, we'd be lucky if one of them said, yes, I know slavery happened here.
For Robart Johnson, whose fourth great-grandfather was a runaway slave, the designation of Emancipation Day is too little, too late.
One of the Andrews boys beating Jude.
This carving is now also on display at the museum. Robart Johnson is focused on telling the personal stories of Jude and her sister.
Because no one had heard them, and no one would have listened anyway during the time. So now their stories have been told.
One small piece of a long history of slavery here at home. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Yarmouth, Nova Scotia.
For more on this, we're joined by Ngozi Paul, an actor, producer, and activist, and she's helped advocate for the official designation of Emancipation Day. So, Ngozi, the House of Commons voting unanimously to mark Emancipation Day. How significant is that for you?
I think that this is a step in the right direction. It's a major accomplishment for Canada, for Canadian culture, for us to really have an understanding of the nuances and diversity of our history, and for us to decide as a nation how we want to celebrate moving forward. What does it really mean to be Canadian, and what does freedom mean in 2021?
I feel like there are a lot of Canadians who don't really understand the history of slavery in Canada, for example. And so what would you say to them? And what should they be thinking about on Emancipation Day?
Well, I would say you're not alone. I certainly was one of the people who didn't understand the history of African Canadians, having never learned about many of those details in school, even with parents who are Pan-Africanists. I think that it's an opportunity for us to to bring to light things that have been hidden, and for us to, again, decide how we want to move forward together as a country.
All right. And Ngozi, really nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too. Thank you.
And you can join Ngozi Paul for a CBC Arts special with artists across Canada celebrating Emancipation Day. Stream free up anytime on CBC Gem. Next on The National, at this stage, there's no doubt it's a very different Olympic Games. No cheering, no crowds, and most importantly, no families. I speak with two moms about watching their children compete from their living rooms. This is what athletes are used to hearing when they compete. But as we've seen in Tokyo, these are no ordinary Olympic Games. There are no fans in the stands, and for the most part, no family members there. Instead, it's up to the athletes and Team Canada's chef de mission to show their support.
Just setting up some flags, you know, like the friends and family should be here and they should be able to do this, but they can't.
Family members are stuck at home, of course, because of the pandemic, left to watch their loved ones on TV. Waking up early, staying up late to catch their Olympians in action. And tonight we wanted to hear from two of those parents experiencing these Olympics at home. Lucille De Grasse is the mother of Canadian track cyclist and speed skater Vincent De Grasse. And Victoria Maylie is the mother of Canadian rower Madison Maylie. And thanks to both of you for being here.
Thank you, Ian.
Victoria, let's start with you. These were the first Olympic Games for your daughter. Earlier this week, she was on the water competing in the women's eights, and then this happened.
Canada rowing for gold. Sit up tall, push your legs down, nothing else matters. Gold for Canada, silver for the Kiwis, and bronze for China. Canada win gold.
So as that happened, where were you, who were you with, and what was it like?
Well, I was in our home in Lions Bay, just with my immediate family, but I knew we had the spirit of our whole village behind us in that room because we'd staged a 300-person Olympic rally just days beforehand. And it was so exciting for our entire community to embrace Canadian women's rowing.
And so you know, we had Steve Armitage, the fantastic CBC commentator, calling that race, but I think you could barely hear him, right?
Well, we were on our feet cheering, and we were cheering to suggest to the team that they act as one team and deliver their best performance, and obviously for Kit, the coxswain, to take the team right through the final 250 meters to take home gold.
Lucille, you have a really interesting perspective because this is Vincent's first summer games, but he's also a winter games athlete, an Olympic speed skater. So you were in Pyeongchang, South Korea in 2018. Tell me what that experience was like as a parent.
Being at the Olympic themselves is an amazing experience. You really get to live all of the atmosphere, and you get to see them in person. You've got your ticket in hand, you walk to the stadium, and you get to see them. Compared to tonight, for us, we're 6 hours away from race time, where his first quarterfinal will take place. But there's more anxiety, like, will the internet work? Will I see it? Will I catch him? Will the camera show me his face? So different side, but this is as important for us. We live Sochi also from home. We watched it from home. We did not travel to Sochi. And I think that the most important part is that we get to be part of the journey, and the athletes get to compete. And that for me was the most important part of these Olympics, is these athletes that have given 5 years now of their time to be ready, get to compete. So I'll stay home for them to get to compete.
Yeah, and in Vincent's case, you know, he's training for 2 games, winter and summer. Add the pandemic, you've seen very little of him over the last while. I think the last true kind of sit-down family gathering was in late 2019, pre-pandemic. If you had a chance to talk to him now, and I know he's getting ready for his race, but just by chance, if he watches this online, what would be your message to him?
We got to say bye to him on the front yard in Milton at the velodrome. But what we would say is, my husband and I, Denis, would say, we truly admire your perseverance that you have to achieve the level that you have, all the goals you've set is truly remarkable. We're so proud of you. We want you to enjoy your journey. Sorry, it's a little emotional. We want you to enjoy your journey. Enjoy your time in Tokyo.
And Victoria, when Madison came home, obviously you congratulated her. Obviously, as a mom, it was nice to have her back home. But beyond that, what was your message for her?
I just felt that Madison needed to enjoy the moment, and obviously just think back on her Olympic journey with great pride for all that, you know, she achieved as an athlete. And for all that community outreach she did and inspiring youth, and that she always, you know, sort of didn't need to really bring home a gold medal because she really has a heart of gold. And I just wanted her to know that no matter what had happened, on that race course. We loved her, and she was a champion for everybody that obviously knows her, from Northeastern to Lions Bay and all of her friends around the globe.
We have about a minute left, so that's 30 seconds for each of you, and it's a big question, but I will ask it. There was a lot of debate about whether these games should even go ahead. They did go ahead with a COVID emergency going on in Tokyo. You're stuck back in Canada. Lucille, maybe I'll begin with you. How do you feel about the fact that these games happened?
For me, it's very important that the games happen. Many other things are happening around the world in COVID times. The security and the precaution that everyone is taking and the athletes are taking, I truly believe our athlete needed the opportunity to compete in a safe environment, and it is being provided to them. And I'm appreciative of that.
I'm sorry, and Victoria?
Well, I'd first of all like to have a shout out to Pfizer, who vaccinated all of our Canadian Olympians before they left to Japan, and obviously for Japan running such a safe Olympic Games for the world. And obviously the importance being that through these games we foster such great global goodwill, and we brought together many small communities which had been socially isolated for such a long period of time. So I'm very grateful for the games, what they did globally, but also in very small hometowns.
Well, hopefully next time you'll get a chance, both of you, to be there in person. But thank you very much for sharing your experiences this time around. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ian.
Another new sport is about to debut in the Olympic Games this week.
Oh, come on.
Two of Canada's best talk about making it to 2020 and why winning will require more than just strength plus. We'll tell you what sports to watch for overnight. Stay with us. Welcome back. This week, two Canadians are about to do something never done before at the Olympic Games. They'll compete in sport climbing, which makes its official debut at Tokyo 2020. Earlier in the spring, Andrew caught up with Canada's climbers to talk about how they got there and what to expect.
This sport requires speed, strength,
cool.
and a laser-sharp focus.
Many climbers excel in one discipline. Some of those climbers excel in two. It is very, very hard to find a climber that excels in all three.
Yeah, cool.
But that versatility is precisely what it'll take to win in Tokyo, with climbing on the Olympic program for the very first time.
This is it. This is the big step. The eyes of the world are going to be on us as athletes there.
Sean McCall and Alana Yip, two of Canada's best. Sean has conquered local, national, World Cup events.
Again, Sean putting on a fantastic show.
Even American television. But for this Canadian, there was always one prize just out of reach.
I grew up watching the Olympics. My favorite sports to watch were swimming, athletics, gymnastics, and I always wanted to be one of those athletes. I always wanted to go to the Olympics.
Alana had a few more ups and downs. She won her first national championship at age 12, but after high school, quit. Didn't think she was good enough.
Go direct to 53.
But she came back, stronger than ever, at just the right time.
Alana Yip has set a new high point here. She is going to the Olympic Games.
Success for me would be coming out of the games feeling like I did everything in my power to perform at the best of my ability.
Go, 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 come on. Oh. Ooh. Oh.
But just ask Andrew Wilson, the team coach.
Well, that was going to be quick too.
Success doesn't come easily, not in a sport like this.
You are confronted with success and failure every day, and through that, we don't see failure on individual climbs or individual routes as failure. It's just part of process.
Here's Alana Yip.
So how does Olympic climbing actually work? Well, there are three main disciplines. First, let's look at speed.
Got away a bit sluggish.
It's like the 100-meter dash of climbing. The course never changes, and the top times from those who specialize in speed,
Alana Yip who takes it by the
just over 5 seconds for men, just under 7 for women.
So he's got 6 minutes to climb. Time unlikely to be an issue. He's got that real fast, springy style, Sean.
Then there's lead climbing, more methodical, requiring much more endurance.
Again, he's climbing so quickly, Sean.
And there's no room for error. You fall off the wall, you're done.
Sean was just entering the rafters, entering the egg section, and fell. Here she goes to the big jump.
Finally, there's bouldering. No harnesses, no ropes, more like a puzzle you have 5 minutes to solve.
If she can top from here, Alana Yip is going to win the boulder round.
But here's the part that makes even elite climbers shudder. All 3 of these disciplines are actually one event.
If you compared that to athletics, it would be like going and doing a 60-meter sprint and then going and doing a 1,500 or an 800, and then immediately following that going on and doing like a 3,000 or a 5,000. And so the energy systems that the body is using and the technical demands are very different from discipline to discipline.
It's for that reason there's no single dominant medal favorite, no Usain Bolt of climbing. To win, you need to be best at everything.
It all comes down to me, so I'm really hoping for the best, that I can pull it off on the day in question.
No, jump it. Yeah, jump it for sure.
I want to come away from the games feeling like I performed at my best, and my goals are not tied to how other people perform.
And it's a high point these 3 have spent years dreaming of. Coach Wilson has been watching Sean and Alana climb since they were kids.
Sean since he was 9 and Alana since she was like 4 years old. So it's been an incredibly enriching and valuable relationship between the 3 of us that feels like it's coming to a really cool culmination and close at these Olympics. Yeah, it's really special.
I knew nothing about that sport. Now I'm really interested in it. And sport climbing makes its official debut on Tuesday. Andrew's also keeping an eye on some of the other big events for us. Here he is with a look at what to watch for in the next few hours.
So overnight, the Canadian action in Tokyo largely centers on synchro, cycling, and soccer. Although I should probably slap my own wrist for the first one, because synchronized swimming doesn't exist anymore. It's officially artistic swimming, and the program begins with duets. And watch for the Olympic veteran of the Canadian pair, Jacqueline Simoneau, who competed in Rio. In cycling, we're finally heading indoors to the track. Women's team pursuit. This is a Canadian squad that captured bronze in Rio with many of the same athletes, mind you. But when you're watching, keep in mind, to start, there's no actual pursuit, at least not yet. Every team begins by racing the track individually, just against the clock, and it's only the top 4 who can vie to compete in the gold medal race, with lots of pursuit happening there. Finally, I saved the best for last, women's soccer. And a huge game between Canada and the US in the semifinal. Now, this is always such a great rivalry, but consider London 2012. The Americans knocked Canada out of gold medal contention, and this country walked away with a bronze. They didn't play each other in Rio, but the Americans didn't medal that year, and, Canadians won bronze once again. So who's hungrier? The US, who want redemption, or the Canadians, who know they're capable of more? We'll find out tomorrow morning.
And one more Olympic note for you.
Wow, what a high jump final. We didn't think it would reach the heights of 2016, but it has.
Coming up, an unexpected high jump final that brought some people to tears. Stay with us.
When did you last see your father?
You're him, aren't you?
Oh, and he does!
Some fierce competition in Tokyo on Sunday between 2 longtime friends, Italy's Gianmarco Tamberi and Qatar's Mutaz Eza Barshi. It was also an incredible comeback with a rare outcome for athletes who have dealt with serious injuries in the past, how their 2-way tie turned into a 2-way celebration, and that is our moment tonight.
Here comes
comes in, beautiful and relaxed.
After a close competition in the men's high jump, Barshim and Tambury were tied for Olympic gold, and they had to face an unusual choice: settle the tie with a jump off, or
can we have 2 gold?
in true Olympic spirit, the two friends decided to be co-champions and share the gold medal.
He looked at me, I look at him. We just understood. Like, there was no need to go. That's it. It wasn't even a question. This is really, I know this is also beyond sport. You know, this is a true sportsmanship. This is the message we deliver to the young generation.
For both Tambury and Barshim, this golden moment comes after years of recovery from serious ankle injuries since the last Olympic Games.
This could be, you know, career, like ending our career, and coming here and being at the top of the game, actually win the Olympics, it's a dream come true.
It was just amazing, and sharing with a friend is even more beautiful.
Thank you.
So they were perfect at every single height until finally the bar got put up to the Olympic record, which is 7 feet 10 inches, 2.39 meters. I don't know how to put that in perspective. Shaquille O'Neal plus. They each missed 3 times and then had that gold medal tie. Perfect. That is the National for August 1st. Good night.